People say that the rich people tend to get richer and poor people tend to get poorer. Now, in today's world, how this is happening has a lot to do with the mega wealthy who have billions and billions and billions of dollars, who since World War II have been constantly lobbying for tax deductions, reduced taxes. There was a time when the top tax bracket was 90%, but over the last several decades, the wealthy have successfully reduced their taxes so that they keep more and more of the wealth that they make each year. Now, if you're a wealthy person, you meet your needs with a small fraction of what you make, a very small fraction. If you have $100 billion, you'd have trouble spending more than a few $100 million per year. Even if you buy a new plane and a new house, a new car, new everything, you're going to have trouble spending it all. So what can a mega wealthy person do with their extra money, their extra income each year? If it's not taxed, it needs to be reinvested into income producing assets. So they buy more stocks, more property, more of the things that produce the wealth. And these are resources that everybody needs. Everybody needs housing. Everybody needs to own a share of the stock market. So if you find that you're having difficulty advancing financially, it has a lot to do with the extra money that is left over in the billionaire's account at the end of the year. If they're not taxed enough on that money, they end up reinvesting it, which drives prices of assets up, which raises the cost of housing, raises the cost of stocks, and keeps them at the top of the wealth scale. Now, if you're a homeowner, you might say, well, that's great. My house is going to go up in value and I'll be able to cash out. But you don't realize that your children and your children's children will find it more and more difficult to purchase houses. Even today, most young people who buy houses do so with help from their parents. So you can imagine a generation or two later, it's going to be impossible, or at least near impossible, to afford a home, because the wealthy will keep on buying up all the assets if they're not taxed sufficiently. If they're not taxed enough, they have extra money that needs to be reinvested. And that money goes into housing, which drives up the cost of all housing and resources. Same thing applies to medical services. Everybody at some time or another needs medical help. And as the wealthy get wealthier, they pay more for the best medical care, which drives up the cost of all medical care. So if you want to do something about this, you should support candidates for office who want to tax the mega billionaires, not candidates who want to keep working taxes higher, taxes on working people, or raise taxes on working people. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about mega wealthy, ultra wealthy billionaires who, if they're not taxed enough, will continue to drive up the price of everything that you need and your children need in order to survive.